Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Aram. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Aram Training Channel. I'm at the Biro workshop and I would like to start a little series of common mistakes rowers make. There are typically three skill groups: the beginners, the intermediate semi-competitive rowers, and the professional athletes. And you can always tell if somebody's being coached or somebody's not being coached. Because in rowing, with every watt you become stronger, you tend to take it easy and kind of fake things until you become tired. By that I mean, the stronger you become, the higher the tendency is that you will have mistakes, and it will be okay. You will not even feel it that much during a steady state rowing. And when you are in a race situation, then it will become pretty apparent. But then it's very difficult to pinpoint, because when you're strong, you can always fake things in low steady state, but you can't fake them anymore in higher intensity pieces. Let's get started. So mistake number one is a very typical mistake that beginners make. So I'm going to start very humble, very low. Let's say this is the first time you are on a rowing machine. And what we typically learn is that we do, put it in the comments if you can relate. Finish position, arms, upper body, legs, and then legs, upper body, arms. Did you see the drama unfold? This is pretty much how beginners are usually being taught. The drama starts here, hands forward. Now what most people do is when they do hands forward, they completely extend their arms. Just watch my shoulders. So today I have two cameras, you guys here and you guys there. So you should see it from both perspectives. So finish position and then arms forward, hands forward. Ugh. Watch what happens to these muscles right there. They become too tight. Typical beginner's mistake, and also intermediate mistakes, that at the finish you bring your arms completely out. What you want to do instead is you want to be as relaxed as you possibly can be around your wrists and around your shoulders. So here. How do you achieve this? The trick is to start with a pretty loose wrist. So you go to the finish position, and then I tend to loosen up my wrists quite a bit. Generally speaking, my forearms are pretty passive for most of the time. In one of the following videos you will learn why, because it's not about having a massive arm pull at the finish. This is completely overrated. But here, it's being loose. So I tend to hold my handles this way, that I have my thumb a bit on the outside and the outside of the palm of my hands creating a bit of a lever here. So you come forward, and now at that stage, that's about as far as I'm going. Another classical mistake many people make here is that people try to have their elbows sideways. So let me exaggerate this a bit. So they would go to the finish, out, and say, okay, arm set, don't extend your arms completely. And they do this. Elbows are on the side. No, don't do this. Don't do this. The idea is that here, you want to be relaxed. I tend to bring my thumb on the inside and be relaxed, easy. And you can extend your arms 80% or so. That's okay. And if you're in that stage, I tend to have my wrists loose, not the hands, because in the boat you can't lose your oars. That's your stability anchor. So the fingers are relatively firm around the oar handle, not tight, but firm. My grandfather used to say when he taught me how to play table tennis, he said, hold the bat like a bird. If you hold it too tight, it will die. If you hold it too loose, it will fly away. So you can remember that in English, it makes actually sense. Hold it too tight, it will die. Hold it too loose, it will fly. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. The truth is to have your fingers relatively firm or well attached to the oar handles, but the wrists here, they're loose. Your elbows fairly loose. And at 80% extension, if you completely, try the following thing with me. Rest your right hand on your left hand, and your left hand creates a support. And now, relax your wrist. This automatically relaxes your elbow. And now, let your elbow loosely go. it will automatically rotate in. And then you can start to pull on your lat, which is going to be essential later on. One builds upon the next step. And then, when you're here, the next important thing is that you don't intentionally go in. You want to be loose. As a general guideline for you guys, in rowing, you want to be as relaxed as you can. However, there are certain towers and anchors of stability you must not neglect. And I'm trying to pinpoint where these are in these series and in that online course I just mentioned before. So, loose here, stable there in your low trunk, but that's a different story. When do you extend your arms completely? Typically, from 3/4 to full slide, you will be reaching out like that. And the idea then is not that your hands reach out, but that your shoulders pull the hands or push the hands forward, but that's another video. Now, let's take a couple of strokes here to show you how I mean this in action. Loose out here, stable and loose. That's wrong. That's loose. That's wrong. That's correct. All right, that's it for the intro video. If you want to learn more about what I do, my name's Aram. My website is aramtraining.com. You find this beautiful piece of art here, as the University of Porto described it. You find this beautiful piece of art, which is called Birower, as the University of Porto recently described it when they received their Birower Pro, on birower.com. This is the workshop where it's all made. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing and liking. It means a lot to me because it shows the algorithm that you appreciate the input I've given. I'm putting together an online course for beginners, how to learn to row more effectively and faster. I'm not going to put it on YouTube. It isn't going to be for free. There's so much work behind this. But if you want to learn more when it's about to be released, hop on the Aram Training website and enter for the newsletter. By the way, I'm not going to hand out your data to anybody else. I hate this when it happens, and I don't do that. I would just inform you when that course is online. With this being said, I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.